masters. Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken cave.
Hey guys, Wheat Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So we're gonna do something a bit different here. You see this guy right here? Canadian flag. Huh, what a nerd. We found an actual purpose for Poison Dagger. Now, Poison Dagger, or Poison Strike, because now you can use it on a scythe as well, is one of the worst abilities in the game. Now, why? It's because Necros have terrible frame data. We have the worst frames in the game when it comes to attacks, frame hit recovery, and faster block rate. We have okay-ish FCR frames, but for mainly a caster, you could argue it's not good, but we have summons, blah, 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 blah. Now, Poison Strike was buffed severely in this beta, okay? Attack rating increases, which are actually big, because you do want to hit. That's how you get the pierce, okay? And damage was buffed a lot, okay? So look at this damage. Level 43 compared to level 41, same gear, okay? 40,000 over 3 seconds, 36,000 over 2 seconds. That means it's 18,000 a second. Again, it really matters how long these last. And this is more like 13,000. But this 18,000 damage comes with 30% pierce. So you know what the funny part is? Poison Dagger, if you get the pierce off, lasts longer than Desecrate, which means not only does it tick harder when it ticks for longer. Now, one of the key parts of this build is you do need to actually attack him. Now, Poison Strike makes a Poison Cloud, which does this damage no matter what, but you only get the pierce effect if you hit Dclone. So let's take a look at this fight. Now, I can't go too far into specifics because basically Topwig wants this to be his kill for the season. I think it's going to do that one time. It will be fine. His top 3 kill. But basically, looking at the gear, it's pretty simple. We're going to go 3-piece with Bramble, a Water Walks, an Oak Sage. I'm assuming the other ring is a Raven Frost. Could be a Nature's Piece, but I doubt it. Amulet's probably a Mara's because there's no corruptions. And then the helm is a Shaco. A nice helm for Dclone because it gives you some PDR life and skills. So that time he did not hit. Barely lasted. That time he hit. Look at how much longer it lasts. It lasts like twice as long. Okay, that time it hit. Okay, so that's one of the things about this build. Is that you really need to make sure you have the AR to consistently hit Dclone. And even with the massive buffs to Poison Strike, Poison Dagger, God, I hate that name. They need to come up with a new name for it, like Poison Necro Explosion. I don't know, something cool. So that time he didn't hit. The poison also... See, the problem with the poison bubbles or desecrates in general is they have really bad, like, hitboxes, I guess is what you would call it. And they often don't actually hit the enemies you're trying to hit them with. So when people say, I've always said this, like, watch this clear video, come do, Poison Dagger or Desecrate and map. It's amazing. It's not amazing. It's very, very frustrating. Very, very, very frustrating. The reason we use Desecrate is for one purpose, single target bosses that don't move. The reason we're using Poison Strike is because, wow, it did a lot of damage. He has to have a Raven Frost on. Okay, nice dealing with that. Nice dealing with that. Okay, he's going to fill up the sash. His play is actually really good. He's actually really good at this fight now. I wonder how long it would take for me to, like, even compete with him as a Necro. It's just, I don't know, a couple weeks at least. He's got a juicy bone armor. I don't know if you've noticed that. Looks like it's absorbing about 900 fully. I would assume his skills, since he's not going summons at all, he might have 1 point Blood Warp. It is nice to have. Even in this fight, I have definitely used Blood Warp to survive a situation that would have died otherwise. Now, it's not good because it costs health, and Blood Warp is not the best teleport in the game, especially for survival situations. but it's still a teleport. It's a get out of jail free card. It's just get out of jail free with cutting off your right hand. Oh, he almost dies. God, you should have used more pots. So right now he's running around and he's trying to attack the archers. The reason being is his Necros have those bad frames, so even though he has that bone armor, he's being put into block animations way too much. Now, I don't think there's any way he's running max block, but he could be. He still has a lot of life, though. But max block can actually be a bad thing in this fight. Now, it's kind of weird because Topog and I have gone back and forth on this many times. Max block sucks because you die. Not having max block sucks because you die. As you saw, he almost died many, many times because of the block animation with those archers. So even though you're not taking damage, you're not moving. And then it's likely that you're going to be in a bad situation when you're out of the block animation. There's a reason why people like to run Holy Shield for the one frame block animation, which is just insanity. You get a one frame block at 86 FBR or something just nuts. By the way, you may have noticed the Oak Sage does not die. That is a change this beta. Sages are immortal and untargetable. The reason they are untargetable is because if you had an immortal summon, you could easily cheese mechanics by summoning them and having enemies attack them, and they would be immortal, so yeah, you could really bug the AI out in this game. And this AI is not smart. So let's see how he handles this. The bone armor should really help against the archers. I actually think the way he should do this is attack the skeleton warriors first once they're all grouped. And I know he's still trying to group them and he's having a tough time. See, that's exactly what he's trying to do. Okay. So that's what I would do. A lot of times what you actually do in this fight is try and group and go for range first once you can. But, this is brutal. So I think the optimal play is and Woog said this as well, is you probably want to mix up your strategy on this section. For anyone wondering, he's using 3-piece, right? So someone might go, hey, what about that new shield? You are nuts. You are a psychotic individual, and I'm worried that you think that. That is a chance to proc on attack. I don't know if you've noticed, but part of the point of this build is we don't have to hit that much because we just do that much damage. Again, as long as he hits the enemy. Many times you're seeing, for one, the poison bubble doesn't even hit the archer that he was standing right on. Like, it just blows your mind how terrible these animations are. But when you don't hit an enemy, like right there, you heard that sound, Dclone got hit, and now he's poisoned for a lot. There, Dclone was not hit, barely last. Honestly, it's probably a difference in 3 times the damage. He's on an invisible Bone Spirit patch. Do you see how hard it is to tell? He's still on an invisible Bone Spirit patch. He's on just a non-regular Bone Spirit patch. He just walked over the invisible one again. Trust me, I'm saying this, but I've died to those more than I've not died to them. I've done Dclone 5 times live. I've done it on Pluggy many more times and never died once. Literally, I did Dclone Season 1, died 3 times. Then I finally decided to practice the fight. I did it like 10 times in a row, then did it live, died because I exited the game when I should have won, and then beat him the next game. This fight's much harder than you think, especially live. And GG, guys. Skelly King out.
Come and play with us. Come and play with us, Daddy. Forever.